For more than a century, Britain has been one of the pioneers of aircraft carrier warfare. The Royal Navy built some of the most influential carriers in history, from the world's first ship with a full-length flight deck to modern floating air bases capable of launching stealth fighters. Along the way, British engineers invented technologies that changed naval aviation forever: armored flight decks, angled runways, and ski jump ramps. HMS Argus. Commissioned in 1918, HMS Argus became the first warship in the world with a full-length flight deck running from bow to stern. Earlier carriers had complicated layouts with superstructures blocking parts of the deck, making aircraft operations dangerous and inefficient. Argus solved this problem by using a completely unobstructed deck, allowing aircraft to both take off and land safely. The ship could carry around 20 aircraft, which was impressive for the era. Although she arrived too late to play a major role in the First World War, Argus became extremely important as a training and experimental platform. Many procedures used on modern carriers, such as arrestor wires and landing techniques, were first tested aboard Argus. Her design proved that the aircraft carrier could become one of the most powerful types of warship in the world. HMS Furious. HMS Furious began her life as a battlecruiser during the First World War. She was originally armed with enormous guns, including an 18-inch naval cannon, one of the largest ever mounted on a warship. However, the rapid development of naval aviation convinced British planners that aircraft could become more valuable than heavy artillery. Furious was gradually rebuilt into an aircraft carrier and eventually received a full flight deck. During the Second World War, she operated in Arctic waters and near Norway, launching airstrikes against German positions and shipping. Aircraft from the carrier also participated in operations against the German battleship Tirpitz. Furious demonstrated how traditional warships could be transformed into carriers during a time when naval aviation was still developing. HMS Eagle, 1924. HMS Eagle had a very unusual origin. She was originally laid down as a battleship for Chile before being purchased by Britain and converted into an aircraft carrier after the First World War. Commissioned in 1924, Eagle became one of the Royal Navy's most active carriers during the early years of the Second World War. Operating in the Mediterranean, her aircraft launched attacks against Italian shipping and supported convoys heading to Malta. These convoys were vital because Malta served as a strategic base disrupting Axis supply lines. In August 1942, during Operation Pedestal, Eagle was torpedoed by the German submarine U-73. The carrier sank rapidly, demonstrating how vulnerable even large warships could be to submarine attacks. HMS Hermes, 1924. HMS Hermes holds a unique place in naval history because she was the first aircraft carrier designed from the start as a carrier, rather than converted from another type of ship. Although Hermes was relatively small compared with later carriers, her design influenced future carrier construction worldwide. She carried around 20 aircraft and served primarily in the Indian Ocean during the early stages of the Second World War. In April 1942, Japanese carrier aircraft located Hermes near Sri Lanka during a major offensive against Allied naval forces. Without fighter protection, the carrier was attacked by numerous dive bombers and sank after multiple bomb hits. Her loss clearly demonstrated the devastating power of carrier-based aviation. HMS Ark Royal, 1938. Commissioned in 1938, HMS Ark Royal became one of the most famous British carriers of the Second World War. Unlike earlier carriers, her hangars and flight deck were built as part of the ship's main structure, allowing her to carry more than 50 aircraft. Ark Royal participated in numerous operations in both the Atlantic and Mediterranean. She played a decisive role during the hunt for the German battleship Bismarck. Aircraft launched from Ark Royal struck Bismarck with a torpedo that jammed the battleship's rudder, preventing it from escaping into the Atlantic. Later, in 1941, Ark Royal herself was torpedoed by the German submarine U-81 and eventually sank. HMS Illustrious introduced one of the most important innovations in aircraft carrier design, the armored flight deck. Instead of maximizing the number of aircraft carried, British engineers focused on protecting the carrier from bomb damage. This decision proved extremely valuable during intense air attacks in the Mediterranean in 1941. Illustrious was hit several times by German dive bombers, but the armored deck prevented catastrophic destruction. Although the ship suffered heavy damage, she survived and was later repaired. The concept of armored carrier decks became a distinctive feature of British carrier design and influenced naval architecture for many years. HMS Formidable, another Illustrious-class carrier, served extensively during the Second World War in both European and Pacific theaters. Her aircraft played a key role during the Battle of Cape Matapan, where British forces defeated the Italian fleet in 1941. Later in the war, Formidable joined the British Pacific Fleet and launched airstrikes against Japanese airfields and naval bases. In 1945, the carrier was attacked by Japanese kamikaze aircraft. Despite sustaining damage, the armored flight deck helped prevent catastrophic destruction. Formidable survived the war and demonstrated how well the British armored carrier concept could perform under combat conditions. HMS Victorious had one of the longest and most interesting wartime careers of any British carrier. In 1941, aircraft from Victorious launched torpedo attacks against the German battleship Bismarck during the famous pursuit across the Atlantic. Later in the war, Victorious operated with the United States Navy in the Pacific Ocean. For security reasons, the carrier was temporarily referred to as USS Robin while serving alongside American carrier groups. This cooperation demonstrated the close alliance between British and American naval forces during the war, and showed how carrier operations had become central to modern naval warfare. HMS Indomitable. HMS Indomitable represented an improved version of the Illustrious design. She introduced a double hangar, allowing the ship to carry significantly more aircraft than earlier armored carriers. Indomitable participated in major operations in the Mediterranean, including missions supporting the Allied invasion of Sicily. Later, she joined the British Pacific Fleet and conducted strikes against Japanese targets. Despite suffering bomb damage during the war, the carrier remained operational and continued supporting Allied naval operations. Her improved aircraft capacity helped balance the British focus on protection with the need for stronger air groups. HMS Implacable. Commissioned in 1944, HMS Implacable represented the next stage in British carrier development. Her design attempted to balance aircraft capacity with the armored protection that had proven effective earlier in the war. Implacable carried around 40 aircraft and joined the British Pacific Fleet during the final stages of the conflict. Her aircraft participated in strikes against Japanese airfields and naval bases. Although she arrived late in the war, Implacable demonstrated how British carrier design had evolved during the conflict. HMS Indefatigable. HMS Indefatigable, sister ship to Implacable, also served with the British Pacific Fleet. In April 1945, the carrier was struck by a Japanese kamikaze aircraft. The plane crashed into the flight deck, but the armored deck absorbed much of the impact and prevented catastrophic damage. Remarkably, The carrier resumed flight operations only a few hours later. This incident became one of the most dramatic examples showing how effective armored carrier decks could be against extreme battlefield threats. HMS Colossus. HMS Colossus became the lead ship of a new class of light fleet carriers built during the later stages of the Second World War. These ships were designed to be built quickly and economically while still being capable of operating modern naval aircraft. Although Colossus entered service late in the war, the design proved extremely successful. Many ships of the class were later sold to Allied navies and continued operating for decades. This widespread use demonstrated how versatile and practical the Colossus design had become. HMS Ocean. HMS Ocean played an important role in the early development of carrier-based jet aviation. In 1945, she conducted trials with the jet fighter de Havilland Sea Vampire. At the time, many experts believed jet aircraft would be too fast and too heavy to operate safely from aircraft carriers. The successful tests aboard Ocean helped prove that jets could operate from carriers, marking the beginning of a new era in naval aviation. These experiments helped prepare navies for the transition from propeller aircraft to jet fighters. HMS Vengeance. HMS Vengeance served briefly with the Royal Navy before being loaned and later transferred to Allied navies. Like many ships of the Colossus class, she demonstrated remarkable versatility and adaptability. Carriers of this type were able to operate various aircraft and perform different missions, including training, strike operations, and fleet support. The longevity of these ships in multiple navies highlighted how effective the design was. HMS Theseus. HMS Theseus gained combat experience during the Korean War. Aircraft operating from the carrier flew ground attack missions against enemy positions and supported United Nations forces. The Korean War demonstrated that aircraft carriers remained extremely valuable even after the Second World War. Their ability to project air power without relying on land bases made them essential tools in modern naval strategy. HMS Eagle, Cold War. The post-war HMS Eagle represented the Royal Navy's transition into the jet age. Originally laid down during the Second World War, the carrier entered service in 1951 and quickly became one of the most important ships in Britain's post-war fleet. As jet aircraft became larger and heavier, Eagle underwent major modernizations during the 1950s and 1960s. These upgrades included the installation of steam catapults, a mirror landing system, and an angled flight deck, innovations that allowed jet aircraft to take off and land more safely. The carrier operated a variety of advanced naval aircraft, including fighters and strike aircraft designed for Cold War operations. Eagle spent much of her career deployed around the Mediterranean and Indian Ocean, demonstrating British naval power during a period of global tension. She remained in service until 1972, when rising costs and changing defense priorities led to her retirement. HMS Ark Royal, R09, commissioned in 1955, HMS Ark Royal R09 became one of the most capable aircraft carriers ever operated by the Royal Navy during the Cold War. Like Eagle, Ark Royal received extensive modernizations that allowed her to operate large jet aircraft. Her air wing included powerful strike aircraft such as the Blackburn Buccaneer and interceptor fighters like the McDonnell Douglas Phantom FG-1. These aircraft were designed to counter Soviet naval forces during the Cold War and could carry both conventional and nuclear weapons. Ark Royal served as the centerpiece of Britain's carrier strike capability for many years. However, rising operational costs eventually led to her retirement in 1979. Her decommissioning marked the end of the Royal Navy's ability to operate large catapult-launched jet aircraft from carriers. HMS Hermes, Cold War. The later HMS Hermes had one of the longest and most remarkable careers of any British aircraft carrier. Originally commissioned in 1959 as a conventional carrier designed to operate jet aircraft, Hermes was later modified to operate STOVL aircraft, including Harrier jump jets. This conversion allowed the Royal Navy to maintain carrier aviation even after the retirement of its larger fleet carriers. Hermes became world famous during the Falklands War. Serving as the flagship of the British task force, the carrier launched Sea Harrier fighters that successfully defended the fleet against Argentine aircraft. The performance of these aircraft played a crucial role in securing air superiority during the conflict. HMS Invincible. Commissioned in 1980, HMS Invincible became the lead ship of a new class of smaller aircraft carriers designed to operate STOVL aircraft. Instead of using catapults, Invincible employed a ski jump ramp at the bow of the ship. This allowed aircraft such as the BAE Sea Harrier to take off with heavier fuel and weapons loads. Invincible quickly proved her value during the Falklands War in 1982 when Sea Harrier fighters operating from the ship intercepted and shot down several Argentine aircraft. The success of these operations demonstrated that even relatively small carriers could provide effective air defense and strike capability. Invincible continued serving for nearly 3 decades before being retired in 2005. HMS Illustrious, Invincible class, HMS Illustrious, commissioned in 1982, was the second ship of the Invincible class and became one of the most versatile carriers in the Royal Navy. Originally designed to operate Sea Harrier fighters, the carrier later supported a wide range of missions, including helicopter operations and amphibious support. Illustrious served in numerous deployments around the world and participated in operations in the Middle East and the Balkans. After the retirement of the Sea Harrier fleet in the early 2000s, the ship was converted into a helicopter carrier supporting Royal Marines operations. Illustrious remained in service until 2014, making her one of the longest-serving carriers in modern British naval history. HMS Queen Elizabeth. Commissioned in 2017, HMS Queen Elizabeth is the largest and most advanced warship ever built for the Royal Navy. With a displacement of around 65,000 tons, the carrier is significantly larger than previous British carriers and was designed to operate the stealth fighter F-35B Lightning II. The ship uses a ski jump ramp similar to the Invincible class, but on a much larger scale. Her air wing can include dozens of aircraft, including F-35B fighters and various helicopters used for anti-submarine warfare and airborne surveillance. Queen Elizabeth represents the return of Britain to large-scale carrier aviation. HMS Prince of Wales. Commissioned in 2019, HMS Prince of Wales is the second ship of the Queen Elizabeth class and one of the most powerful warships currently operated by the Royal Navy. Although nearly identical to her sister ship, Prince of Wales incorporates improvements based on lessons learned during the construction and early operations of Queen Elizabeth. The carrier regularly participates in NATO exercises and international deployments, demonstrating Britain's ability to project naval air power far beyond its shores. Together, Queen Elizabeth and Prince of Wales form the core of the modern British carrier strike group, supported by destroyers, frigates, submarines, and supply ships. These carriers represent the culmination of more than a century of British aircraft carrier development.